Before. Thank you so much. My name is John Faust. I'm the Downtown Joe President and also this year's President of the President Council. We have a couple special guest speakers tonight and an extra commissioner in the audience. Thank you.
Now an extra. Normally I'm the only one, now an extra. Extra works.
That's Captain Silva from our captain from Punch County Sheriff's Office and some of his guys, and Andy Ambrose, so the other city commissioner in the room. Thank you both for joining us. Let's do some housekeeping real quick. Actually, the first thing on this is always PBOS Sheriff's Office update from the last 30 days of our neighborhood, what's going on. Let them get in and get out and do that and get the bricks. So who's our...
Quickly, again, hi, everyone. I'm Captain Silva. Let me introduce members of my team here. This is Josh Shealy. He's your sector deputy today, working in Sector 5, which is this area. He's the one who's going to briefly talk about some of the crime that's happened in the last 30 days pertaining to the downtown jewel. And then Chris Johnson works for us as well, and he still works in an undercover capacity. He's going to talk about some of the issues maybe that you're seeing regarding narcotics and things like that. And our new guy that came early here is to introduce Benito Gaspar, who's our new community service specialist. He has a job that Joel Morgenstern once had. But he's our new guy that's really going to be coordinating with the neighborhood associations and all the different initiatives that we do in the community. So Benito is here for that. But like John said, let's let Josh quickly talk about what happened in the last month so he can get back to the work road and do some things.
All right. Hello, everyone. How are you? Hi. Okay, as Captain Silva said, my name is Josh. Typically what I do is I give you some crime stats that I feel are pertinent that you would want to know to your neighborhood. I give you the amount of the crimes, if you want to know addresses and things like that. And then and I open it up for any of you to have, if you have any questions for me pertaining to these or anything else. So we'll start with, like I said, some of the things that I feel are important. Stolen tags. We had 3 stolen tags. They were all throughout the night, overnight. We had 1 stolen vehicle. We had 6 burglaries to residents, and they were a mix, 3 in the day and 3 at night. We had 2 burglaries to the vehicle, both for a night, 2 thefts, and 2 robberies to persons, and that was a mix, day and night, like afternoon and evening time. So again, those are the ones that I feel are pertinent. If you have any other questions for any other crimes, you can let me know. And as I always say, I don't know if I've said it to this group, I'm kind of going to HOA meetings as we go, but I want you guys to know that take this uniform off of me, and I am the exact same as everyone sitting here. I have a neighborhood, I have a home, I have a family, and I care just as much about mine as you do about yours. So I put this uniform on so I can come help you take care of your neighborhood. So don't hesitate to call us. I work the road. I've been working the road for 8 years. We would rather you guys call us 999 times and we catch the guy once than to not get a call and not catch him at all. Okay, so please feel free to just call. Don't get intimidated. Understand we're here for you and for your neighborhood. Okay. Any questions you guys might have? Yes, ma'am.
The list of crimes that you gave us, are all of those solved, or some of them, or are they just incidents that have occurred?
There are crimes that have occurred, and as far as the solving goes, the burglaries or anything like that, I'm not sure of the solve rate.
No rest of those kids.
Okay. The reason I asked is actually I'm grateful that you gave us that complete list, because I know in the past they've given us lists just with the report that they get, you know, not that it's the officer who comes or whatever, but the report that's run, which just closed cases rather than ongoing investigations. And I think it's valuable to all of us to have, to hear about incidents that may, you know, happen to us so that we're able to have them that. So thank you.
Absolutely, yes. Any other questions?
This system we set up with the officer coming every month reporting to the neighborhood association. The purpose of it, we established this 7 years ago when I first got here. It's just to inform you the good, bad, and the ugly, let you know what's happening. If we didn't make any arrests that week or that month, we didn't make any. But you need to be aware of what actually is going on. There's some tools out there online that you can look to see what's going on in the neighborhood as well regarding crime. But the idea is to put him in front of you so that he can share information to you, but you can also ask questions of him and maybe give information back to him and things that he needs to be aware of. So that's the purpose of the system.
Usually the officers, the deputies who come in, they'll give us an idea of where these things are happening. Like 4th of July, 4th of July, 4th of July. Oh, one of them's on Lake Avenue.
Sure,
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, a little more detail.
4th of J, those seems to be the hotbed.
4th of J, right, we'll talk about that later in the PowerPoint. He's kind of glossed over it really quickly because he knows that we have a lot of people here to talk and he doesn't want to take up
I
a
was
bunch of time.
just-
My bad, his bad.
All right, so
Just get more
I was
details.
curious about the stolen tag.
okay, so no problem. As far as the address on the stolen tag, we have 5th South and K Street, 5th South and J Street, 5th South and N Street, in that area. I'm sorry, one more, 5th South and K Street again. Any other addresses, I have them right here, like Captain said, where a lot of people are getting ready to speak, so I was trying to make it a little bit faster, but if you have any, I have them right here for you guys. One more thing I want to remind you guys to point out, and I do this at every HOA meeting as well, when we're driving by in our cars, I know sometimes you feel kind of uncomfortable about stopping us and talking to us or waving us down and chatting about what's going on in your neighborhood. That's what we're here for. Just stop us, let us talk to you, engage with us. I mean, we want to be able to do that. Don't be intimidated by the car and the uniform. Stop us and talk to us. That's what we're here for, so we can understand what's going on in your neighborhood a little bit better and how we can address it, okay?
I have a question. I have the spot program. How active is it?
Spot.
Like, what's the best, is there any best way to see what's happening real time?
Not necessarily real time, but I would say that's about between 90 and 95% accurate.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have, and that's the thing where they actually identify things. And you have to remember, I keep reminding people, that every time they do their job, it becomes a crime stat. So if they are arrested, stopping somebody for DUI, or doing their job on a regular basis, it becomes a crime stat. So sometimes it looks like there's a lot going on, it's because they're doing their job. So that thing that you see where they have the dots or crimes are happening, it's because the guys, the men and women are out there actually making it happen.
And one more footnote on those contact type tools on the
Right.
the little icon will show up for homicide. And people say, oh my God, we had a murder. No, it wasn't a murder. Homicide is defined as someone, like in this one case where they ran over a 5-year-old child, their own relative, by accident. It happens, and then this thing's happening. It shows up as a homicide, and that looks, to the person unaware, looks like there's a murder just happened, or a stranger just killed somebody else. That's why it's a little misleading sometimes, and also like that we generate those own icons ourselves just by naming the rest and stopping people.
Well, and sometimes I watch the blog and I see the Facebook, and a lot of times people take it to Facebook, and I try to encourage them not to take it to Facebook until we've had some conversations or we've had some direction, because sometimes you take it to Facebook and it takes on a whole different world. And we had something going on where they were chasing the bad guy. We at City Hall got a call, I'm sitting with the city manager, we got a call that said, stop garbage pickup in this area because we think he's disposed of a gun. And we had a reporter out in the middle of the scene with her child taking pictures, and they were still chasing the bad guy. Because somebody said, this is going on, she saw it on Facebook, she ran over there. And the same thing, if the helicopter's out, or you see cops running through your front yard, stay in your house. I had one woman said, well, the cop was rude to me. I said, well, what were you doing outside? Oh, I want to see what was going on. Well, if there's a cop or a helicopter over your house, don't go outside. It's just common sense to me. But she was all upset because the cop was rude to her. Well, the cop was rude because they were doing their job, chasing a bad guy that happened to be in and around your yard. So a lot of those things,
We should interrupt you, and we'll come back to you guys, because that's why we're all here tonight, is for you guys. Officer Josh left, but thank you guys so much for being regular. We're going to let's do some housekeeping real quick, and we always start off with treasurer's reports.
All right, now this is wrong because, how much money I have.
Investment.
No, because they haven't cashed the check that we donated to the Blue News yet.
Okay.
So we have, $4,715.71.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's in there, but actually, I wrote a check for $260.
You got the check from Street Paint Festival?
Yes, I did get that, I got that, I put that in there, that means that. And then I also got a thank you note, or thank you from Nadine and Mary Ann in a picture, which we always get every year of our space at the Street Painting Festival, because we always donate for that. So every year they send us a little picture of what their little thing looks like. So if anybody wants to see that, I'll pass it around.
The treasurer, Sam is our treasurer, Greg's our secretary. Between the two of them, they keep track of memberships and emails and Facebook posts. Our membership dues, they're $11 a year. If you want to be a member, great, we'll take your whole $11. And if not, that's okay too. You can still give either one of them your address or your email address, and we'll put you on our mailing list for free, so that you get the minutes of this meeting each month and also what's going on as far as what we produce out in the e-world. Jewel of the month, is there a Jewel of the month this month?
Well, we picked one, but we haven't been able to get a hold of them. It's 208 South K Street. I'm sure you guys know which house that is. It's a really nice house. It's got an apartment building in that with the big royal palms in the front yard. But nobody's ever there for knock on the door or do anything, so I have to leave a note. If
We've
that's-
identified a Jewel of the month.
I do, we just haven't put a sign on.
And then last month, we came up with a Jewel of the neighbor. Do we have a follow-through on paperwork for that?
No.
Do we have a new Jewel of the neighbor? Is there any Jewel of the neighbor
No.
conversation tonight?
No.
All right, any FLOF committee conversations tonight? And RAF committee,
Okay.
And 12 night house this Saturday,
10 to 12, Saturday.
our first bill meeting.
10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Yes.
Like, or midnight. 2 hour, 2 hours. Okay,
We'll go later.
Saturday.
It's Saturday, 10 o'clock.
It's Saturday, 10.
Second, South Second and out. For our first bill, did you buy 30 sheets of plastic?
I got 10 minutes.
Okay. The city has chosen the date for the 4th of July event. It's July 4th.
Wow.
The 4th of July raft race is before our next meeting, so what other details do we want to discuss right now?
Probably another meeting in 2 more weeks at the Gold Party. We'll trash and design some speakers, see how they work. We'll grass all the way until the race starts, basically.
Okay. So,
Anybody wants to run paddle raft and races?
traditionally, the Sunday before the raft race, South Shores Tavern hosts a captain's party. The captain's party is usually the captains from every team, which is limited to 20 or 40 people or whatever it is. And then immediately after is an open party. Don't know the exact time. Does anybody have a memory of about, is it like 4 o'clock in the afternoon? Watch for it on Facebook. It's the Sunday before the raft race. Yes, probably so. So the captains will go to that, and then immediately afterwards, it's open to everyone. Benny's on the Beach wants to host a raft party also, so watch Facebook on that. I think he wants to get pretty aggressive with the party as far as letting us party on the pier, and I don't know what he's doing for a bar, a cash bar, or whatever. There's something else to try. Let's see, get president's race. Oh, thank you, that's what it is. The President's Kayak Race. After the raft race, we did this years ago when Jay Nuzzer was our president, Jay won for our neighborhood. We're doing that this year. So right now, you're the top vote getter for the president or his designee.
You're the president.
Whoever has the strongest upper body kayak, start working out. So, anything else on rafts?
Just out of curiosity, why are you abstaining?
Why am I what?
Abstaining.
Because
Oh, you
I
gotta
haven't
film
been
it.
on a kayak in years, and
Just curious.
there was no incident, but. Banner committee, I'm gonna pass this off and skip Greg and go straight to you. You sent art to Mary, right?
For banners.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, long time.
So last year's grant for banners, it was looking like they're gonna leave a bunch of money on the table for unordered banners from other neighborhoods. And I'll refresh your memory, we said basically, we have a lot of money left in poor neighborhoods, or the neighborhoods with no savings accounts. Yeah, take the banner money. Well, but I guess after months and months of no artwork showing up, Hughesville had like $3,000 unspent. So we sent the artwork over to, I think, get you like 20 banners for free. Do you have any raspberries info that you want to join or find? Sean? Okay. Our mascot suit is an update for Fluffy.
I got a Facebook update, he's visiting his parents in China.
All right.
That's awesome.
What now? He's still in China? All right.
I had the Chinese part good.
Is there a...
Has them in London.
You guys have a read?
In the posh.
Makes sense.
We got the grant. Now we're just waiting.
For the things like a...
Yeah, we should be able to start by mid-August, September, October. Start putting the signs up and need volunteer help.
The NAPC neighborhood guide, I believe there's still pages available for that. The countdown is any day now to sign up for that. I don't have one with me. It's going to be 100 pages long this year, and they're going to print out 5,000 of them and give it to everybody. I don't know how long it was. 64 pages. But those are $200 for half page, $100 or $300 for a full page. If you want one of those, find me or Anthony in the back. And thank you, presidents from other neighborhoods, for being here. Appreciate that. Reminder, August 7th, we signed up to host the beer tent at Evening on the Avenue. And September 7th, we are doing a presentation to the City Commission. I don't know when the next time we actually host the tent, NAPC welcome tent, but we do host the beer tent. Anything else before I go to special guests? Yes. Oh, clean up, thank you. Yes, I one of you, go ahead, it's your baby.
I think most of you all got flyers. We're going to have a neighborhood cleanup. We're going to meet at our house, 219 South L Street, Saturday, June 13th at 8 o'clock in the morning. We're going to hopefully have enough volunteers to split into teams and be able to go up and down all of the north-south streets and east-west streets as well as the alleys. So if anybody wants to come from other neighborhoods, we would welcome you and give you coffee in the morning before.
Andy and Scotty said they would be there. Thank you both.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna bring a group, and we're gonna try to focus on what that is.
Yeah.
But we will use, we have Saturday, so, hopefully make this. And I would bring apples, bananas, and garbage bags. Cool.
All right, now let's just dive right into presentations. So tonight we have Commissioner Andy Amoroso from District
3.
3. He is actually not our commissioner, but
I am Andy Amoroso, District 3. Just as a reminder, I am not your district commissioner, but we are all your district commissioners. You can always contact any of us if you don't feel like your district commissioner is doing what you need them to do or responding. I will talk about anything. There are no limits to what I will talk about. And also, I can't always answer the question if you want me to, but I'll have the conversation. So I always open it up to conversation. But tonight, we've invited Captain Silva and some of the undercover guys to talk about some of the issues that have popped up recently and how we've dealt with them. So Captain Silva and I are going to bounce back and forth a little bit, and then we'll open it up to any other questions, anything else.
I wouldn't trust anybody to make a decision to pass on that.
I also want to introduce Commissioner Vice Mayor Maxwell, that has graced us with his presentation.
Something out of your face, taking downtown Jewel,
neighborhood association meeting by Monday.
All right, again, Kevin Silva, it is absolutely my pleasure and honor to be here, not only as your district commander, but to actually be here tonight to share information with this group. I do commend you guys for the way you guys organize and do what you do, and you're really adding value to your community and trying to be part of the solution. We have a couple issues here in Lake Forest, so we kind of need this kind of community work on. I'm going to quickly talk about a few things that we are doing to improve our services to the community. How we tackle issues in your neighborhood, the Board of Secure Ordinance. We have this program called TAG. Talk a little bit about prostitution. It's real problematic in the south end of the city, North Dixie. Talk in general about crime trends during the merger, since the merger, which is, by the way, October 1 will be 7 years. Look at a case of interest, and it's basically Shannon, I need to share a little bit about what we're doing going forward to enhance our cooperation and involvement. Just like a quick example, Commissioner Amoroso was talking about how we work together to try to make a difference. This is just one example that came up this a couple weeks ago here, and I think somebody here might be involved with this. But Commissioner, you want to share how you got involved and how we responded? This is an example of what we did to deal with the problem once it was brought to our attention.
Someone brought it to my attention via text that they were having issues at 4th and J in the area, a couple different things going on, some people hanging out on the street, some homeless people sleeping in the alley, and so there was a couple different things going on. So I explained to this person how we could go about it, and I sent an email. I sent an email to city staff because it fell into public works because there were some beds and some furniture and things we needed to remove because they were sleeping on it, the homeless people. There were some people hanging out in the neighborhood, riding bikes through the neighborhood that didn't belong there. And the first thing I always ask is, how do you know they don't belong there? And you, as a resident, know what's going on in your neighborhood. I don't necessarily, unless I live next door. So it's a partnership. It's you, it's us, it's Captain Silva, and this team, the undercover guys, it's Public Works. So the first thing I did was ask Public Works to remove the stuff that enabled these people to be homeless in the alley. They went out, they texted me back, and they said, we can't find it. Well, at that point, it was up in the alley. I was talking to the person, stuff is still there. I drove out, and I found it. It was up on somebody's personal property, and I took it out and pulled it out into the alley, and then I called city staff back and said, it's in the alley, you can find it now. Because city staff doesn't necessarily go on private property. They don't know that that property didn't belong to you. So we worked on that. Then Undercover called me and said exactly what the complaint was. And we do have anonymous complaints in the city, and you can run that through either your neighborhood association or a city commissioner, or the city manager or the mayor. That way, some people feel safer that way. You can have as much involvement or as little involvement. So then Captain Silva responded, and his team, the undercover guys, called me to see exactly what was going on. They went out. Within the week, they had arrested the homeless guy, took him off the street, and again, he was arrested for trespassing. Doesn't stay away long, but hopefully it deters him from coming back to the same area.
Okay, so just in general, you have 2 or 3 ways that basically you can get information to us, or we can try to take care of the problem. Go to your commissioner. Are you related to this?
And I didn't identify you because I didn't know if you wanted to be
My
identified.
question is, thinking, I mean, finally something happened when I called Andy. But when you say that it just came to your attention 2 weeks prior, I've been calling 3 days a week since January about this. So that's where I'm like, what goes on?
Well, when calls come into communications, 688-3400, if that's what you're calling. If you're calling communications to the sheriff's office,
No, I called Dave on July, and I would explain at least 2 or 3 times a week since January.
we get 2,000 calls a month of service calls. That's a lot. And I don't know all the calls that go out personally. I'm not aware.
Yeah.
If you email me or if you email the commissioner or however you get information to me directly, I will make sure that somebody gets on it. sometimes those calls go to our communication center, they get dispatched, the deputy goes, they assess it. They may not have a private owner that gives us the right to get on the property and deal with it. And I'm gonna talk about another tool that recently brought online, that gives us an opportunity to go on people's homes, if they're, let's say, qualified the homes, and we're able to go on the private property and make an arrest.
And Captain real fast, let me just identify that a little bit too, because I thought the same thing. And now that I'm talking to different officers, like we'll have something happen on late, and the officer comes in for the day shift, and I say, are you aware of this? They're not always aware of it, because again, they are coming on the new shift, and they do have a brief, orientation in the morning about some things, hot points and stuff. But like he said, they may have come out and those guys weren't there anymore, and they wrote it off as, yesterday by, but it wasn't there. And the same thing, her and I were texting on a regular basis, are they there now? Are they, because when she was texting me, are they there now? I was talking to the beat cop that was standing in front of me and saying, okay, they're there now. But, they're not always, and the same thing, we expect the sheriff to be there all the time, but they can't necessarily, especially if there's something bad going on over here.
But we didn't move them, they just moved across the street now.
Okay, and again, we have to monitor that, and, there were some no trespassing signs on the one side, so that enabled us to do a little bit, and then you're gonna
Yeah,
talk
we're
about
working on a
it.
couple other, trying to make contact with owner of 47 South J, to get trespass happening. Again, we need the tools, we need the legal authority to be able to arrest people. We have to have something to arrest people. It's not a crime to just look, like you're doing something wrong, look
They
bad.
had a whole living room set up.
Yeah, well, maybe the code enforcement issues, things like that. Trespass, generally we have to have a property owner give us permission to arrest them for trespass. You can't just arrest them. Unless the home qualifies for the board of secure ordinance, which I'll talk about.
Well, and this property, it was a rental, it had people living in it, and you can actually identify the landlord, and, it's up to the landlord if they want to do something. Feasibly, me going on and pulling the couch off was, you shouldn't do that, I did it anyway. But, they can't do that. So feasibly, I did it because we identified that the landlord said, no, they shouldn't be back there, but the renters, English was not their first language, so they didn't care, they weren't going back there. But I was more concerned when I pulled up and the renters had small children that were there. So there was a lot of different things going on.
So in the interest of time, I'm going to continue, but just know that if you ever have an issue or you feel like there's a lack of responsiveness in the sheriff's office, please look up my name or the number who we ask to speak with me. I'll make sure supervisor is on me, and we will be able to go over it in depth. It's not getting on with it, we'll Board of Secure Ordinance is something that was brought online maybe a year and a half ago by the commission. It's another tool. I think since then, Chris, we could probably attest about 200 arrests. And what it does is basically, if there's an abandoned home and it has like a certain amount of it that's dilapidated and deemed to be unsafe, and code enforcement is the one that has to qualify the home, we get to by ordinance make a home one where we can come on the property irrespective of who owns it. Literally, really legal owner of title is, we can go on that property and arrest somebody for trespassing in that unsafe home. And the reason we have that tool is so we can go in there, if people get involved in illicit activities in the home, they sleep, hide there at night, we don't do that in their neighborhoods. Obviously, we don't want that kind of stuff going on. So that's why that tool is brought online. And we're pretty diligent. We have a database that people help us keep up, and we check on it regularly to see if the homes are being occupied by these